Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome to a Cornish first look video for Welcome Back Commander, a game developed by SC 16-bit Knights SRL. It is developed and published by this particular developer. This developer is known for doing the Chromosome Evil franchise, and for any of you who are familiar with Door Kickers or the chronically underappreciated Strain Tactics game, which was a personal favourite of mine. This is a top-down real-time tactics game with pause management system. It is a pretty small subgenre, to be honest. There's not a lot of games like this out there that sort of focuses on the small group tactics. You have stuff like Door Kickers, and there's one or two other titles, but my personal favourite and one that this game sort of reminds me of a lot is Strain Tactics. Strain Tactics was a game that came out, I believe, in like 2017, which was sort of like a cross between Door Kickers and XCOM. It was very fast paced. You had the pause mechanic which you needed to use to issue your squad orders, but it was like brutal, like the weird alien-like life forms, and just it was basically like a cross between XCOM meets Door Kickers meets Prototype. So I never got far enough to the game to figure out if the creatures were actually alien in nature, if they were just like some kind of biological weapon running rampant. I assumed it was biological in nature, but I could always be wrong. But anyway, we are looking at Welcome Back Commander. So let's first check out the settings. Pretty basic settings: music, special effects, monitor settings, full screen windowed, a couple of different retro layers, a couple of languages, and you can reset the key bindings. So it's pretty minimum, but the game, to be honest, is pretty minimum in itself. So we're going to go into a new game. I do have an autosave here, but I'm gonna basically throw it out the window just to show you what it's like, because I learnt a lot while playing. The thing is, the game does an okay job of telling you what to do. Unfortunately, it misses out on some really key elements. So let's start the game. So
We interrupt the program with some breaking news. The city by the name of Sunstone, located near the Deseret area, is now in an emergency state. Apparently, some sort of infection is spreading around, and riots burst out throughout the city, which is uncommon considering the city's peaceful reputation. We have no word from the police, and communications with the city administration have been cut off. This just came in. Martial law has been declared, and the army has been called to establish a quarantine zone around the city. If you are one of the residents from...
okay, Gorky 13 Military Airbase.
Vehicle approaching.
Put in our commander's name up here.
Military airbase. Papers, please.
Right, yep. We'll go Commander Kane.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commander. I didn't recognize you. General is waiting in the command room.
Okay. So now we set a difficulty.
Thank you for coming on such short notice. We have a delicate situation in our hands. I am sure you've seen the news, so I'll move straight to the point.
Right, so we choose a difficulty. This affects how long, what benefit, or what negatives and minuses you get. Early difficulty, 22 days. Additional components, additional ammunition, that kind of thing. 5-second wave, etc. Plus 5 seconds to each wave. This game basically has a wave element to it. So if it's not really your kind of thing, if wave combat isn't really your kind of thing, just be aware. It's an interesting concept. They cross sort of like roguelike elements with wave-based combat in this particular game and in the earlier franchise, which was interesting to see. I'm not always a fan of wave-based combat. I sometimes find it a bit unrealistic, but I can see why they do it. So if we go with easy difficulty, you can see what we get here, a whole load of extra stuff. We can't unlock achievements, but that's fine. So let's go to the next pit.
We need you to assemble a strike team and send it within the Sunstone City to find out what the hell is going on.
External hatch open. Waiting on strike team to come aboard.
Get to the chopper!
Right, so here is our squad. You can't rename any. Rather than thinking these as characters, think of them more as classes. So you've got like the engineer, you've got the medic, you've got basically like close quarters, and you've got just a normal specialist with a pistol. There are other ones I haven't unlocked yet, which will probably give you different weapon options. One thing I would say is I would like to actually see their class roles above their head. Like you hover over them as like engineer, medic, rather than specializes in medikit, specialized in turret. So let's just select a couple of grunts, someone with a shotgun, someone with a pistol.
Unfortunately, the Defense Council has approved the city's total bombardment within an amount of days due to the fear of the outbreak spreading beyond the city borders. Needless to say, after the team is dropped, they need to find an alternative route out of the city within that timeline.
The strike team is on board. I repeat, the strike team is on board.
So we can do, in this basically available equipment, you can add equipment to basically give yourselves some benefits. So we can go stuff like silent communicator, building tools, reduce building choice cost before tactical deployment, Swiss motion scanner can detect big creatures, decoy noise regeneration 1 per second, which is useful for keeping noise down, especially later into waves. But let's just go standard barricade and headset.
Make sure your squad has the necessary equipment and supplies for completing the objectives.
So we have unlocked a little bit as I've been playing. We're going to go with extra bouts of ammunition. There's a lot of equipment you can take. I haven't completed a run yet. Just you know, the game I'm saving over is what I've played so far.
You will be monitoring them from our command room under my direct supervision.
Right, let's lift off. I'm going to skip through this bit just because it's not that important. Right.
Opening hatch.
Okay, open 10 doors, which is fine. So, Commander Kane, the strike team, switch to command. You can now activate the command interface. Right, so we've got supply status, which is how much supplies we have, different ammo types that your guys will go through, medicine, building supplies, components, which basically are used for upgrading. The thing that I'm finding slightly frustrating about this is that it tells you a bit about what they do. It doesn't tell you how much you actually need to craft any of these things early on. And trust me, you need a lot of components. Many, many more than you actually think. You think, oh, 500 is a lot. Like, 500 is nothing. 500 will get you, like, one, like, upgrade in the game. And, let's get the objectives open. Activate the interface, weather warning, normal, enemy scanning, noise meter. Noise meter basically in fact impacts how many enemies will continue to turn up, and it will scale. It's got navigation. Select the unit to open the door. More units to assign to tasks. Faster progress will be. I would like it if these indicators here popped up over the top of things rather than you having to move out of the way. You can zoom in with the mouse wheel. You use the AWSD keys to move around. Let's grab our two guys. It'd be nice if you could name them, but they just don't have a name. Okay, let's right mouse click to get them to quickly open the door. Anything you do as a group, you do quicker. So, for example, we can put them both on doing this, and we'll very quickly break through the ammo supplies. You initially don't know what's in there until you actually check. So it's basically bullets and shotgun shells, or 9mm and shotgun shells, and some rifle rounds, which I'm not really interested in. And then you can basically get them to get out via that. Okay. So here is your command screen. You have your aggro lever at the top left-hand corner, which is aggro measures the intensity of hostile creatures' waves that descend upon your squad. during tactical deployments, and you can do decisions in-game. This is a roguelike, so there are decisions before you go into combat situations which will affect the aggro and like the hunger and morale of your troops. Each day has 4 phases. 3 of those are basically sort of like prepping phases of different varieties, be it from crafting to leveling up. One thing I will say is I do not like the fact that leveling up cannot be done either in the combat screen or as a separate thing. You basically have to burn a phase to level up your characters over anything else. So, and because you really have to level up your characters, it feels almost like a penalty imposed upon you by the devs. It's like, oh, do you want to craft equipment? Do you want to heal your characters up? Or do you want to level up? And it's like, well, can't I level up in the combat screen? It's like, no, there's no mechanic to level up in the combat screen. Even though it's only like applying a perk, it feels unnecessarily punishing for a game where choice and your time limit is always pressing, and where leveling up is nearly always better than anything else to help your characters proceed. It feels like, well, if it's so important to level up, why isn't it just a mandatory thing that I can do for here? Why can't I just click on my character here rather than having to burn through a particular day phase when we only have 22 days? DEFCON, normal readiness, deploying strike team and establishing first contact with quarantine zone for evaluation. That's basically our mission. And then data sample. This secondary request requires you to collect research data regarding the effects in early stages. Fuel, make sure you have enough fuel until you reach the APC position, otherwise your team might not get out alive from the city. And civilian rescue, the secondary request requires you to save as many civilians as possible. So these are our bonus goals that we have to keep in mind. These are supplies. This shows you how much time you have between waves during tactic deployments. We have 35 seconds between each wave. This amounts of noise meter amount of tactic deployment when depleted. Additional creatures will arrive from strategic points, and all enemies will be more focused. So that's basically how much noise you generate. Stuff like looting, shooting guns, that kind of thing. Hostile creature bonuses. These affected by decisions you make during the playthrough and by the game's difficulty setting. Okay, and the difficulty we have. This is the basic style of thing. Now you have Twitter, you have XCOM, you have Twitter, you have Discord, Steam, that kind of stuff. We only have 2 members. You can get up to 5. So let's dive in. Okay, countdown in progress. -1 day confirmed. Okay, so night has fallen. The strike team can use some rest. Okay, so what do you want to do? Which this is completely useless to us because team established a campaign in the creature's tension. You can achieve 1 objective presented before you. Like, we have nothing to do, so it's literally like a wasted slot. This is why I don't like it. It's that if you get it and you don't have points to upgrade, it's literally just a waste of your time when you could be doing anything else. Normally in this situation, what I would do would be I would leave the game, because this is an exploit I have found, I will admit. If you leave the game and come back, it defaults to the beginning of that day. So if you don't like the particular roles you get for like events, like the random events between missions, you literally can just save scum to get what you want. I'm not going to, but I will say that I strongly suggest to the developers that they fix how they implement skill updates in this, because it feels rather punishing in a game where time management is really important. Okay, critical decision. Deployment data. Okay, this is the current one. Let's see what we want. Noise scan, which is plus 200 noise meter. Increased time between waves of 5 seconds. Both of these are important. But I'm going to do the wave and the monitoring, because the longer we can keep waves off, the less we shoot, which basically means the less gunpowder, less ammunition we're using, less extra noise we're generating. Okay. We're going to go to evening, which is tactical exploration. As your team sends video footage of the surrounding environment, the following possibilities present before you. What will you do, Commander? Search the bus, search the medic corpses, search the engineering corpse. Let's search for bus. Well, Medic may give us supplies. The thing is, they're corpses, so they won't have much besides that. Let's search the bus for survivors. 50 materials, 300 materials with risk factor. Now let's fast loot to get ourselves some bonus materials. Not a great outcome, to be honest. As you check your team's location on a municipality map, the following positions present before you. To which of these locations do you choose to send your strike team to investigate under your direct command? A pharmacy, you can probably find antibiotics here for long-term health benefits. Your team will be stuck in this city for some days and you will need food. We are actually low on food, I believe. We don't have any food, so we actually do need to get some food. So let's go there. Your team reaches the location while you start to establish direct drone and body cam control. During time, what do you want the team to do? Barricade the windows. Let's scavenge. Barricade the windows would be good, but we don't actually have a ton of building supplies. And I want to make sure that we at least get something out of this. Okay. So, this is a good opportunity to get supplies for your troops. Okay. So, we need to... We're pausing the game. First of all, let's make sure everyone has a weapon out. One thing I dislike about this is the fact that whenever you interact, you put your gun away, which isn't great. So I'm going to assign people to quickly go and get doors open. The chef will help us by the looks of it. Extract the strike team, save Jim. Okay. So we got some supplies from there. Let's just... Jim can hold them off for a little bit, I believe. Let's do stuff like getting doors open. He's got the door open. What's in here? We can't fix that because we're not the engineer. Let's search to see what's quickly in here. Okay, 100 building loot. Building materials is important, but I also want food. So what do we have here? Okay. Tinned food. Okay, first wave is over, so this is going to be the first wave incoming. Okay, let's try and get as much food as we possibly can. I might try and speed up harvesting. So here's the first zombie coming in. He's got it handled for now, but we've only got a little bit of time before people come in. So let's get you up here. You can get in and help. Let's just rapidly grab as much food as we can. You know, if your notice the symptoms in the friend or loved one, avoid direct contact. Yeah, that's the thing saying about the helicopter overhead. We don't want to linger too long as well, because the more we linger, the more problems we get. Okay. We've got a level up here, so you can level up. I just want to try and grab as much food as possible, because like the game really hits down hard on how much food you get. Okay, wave 3. Okay, let's try and grab at least some food. Okay, I have played this level before, so I'm a bit aware of... Yeah, level 4. Okay. Let's just try and get some crafting supplies. He's opening the door. If things get really bad, I will pull in... you. I'm trying to basically keep our noise meter low. Right, reload please. Okay, so he's found the exit. You found the exit. Aggression and hunger penalty +1. So we need to basically make this worth it. I don't want to hang around too long, to be honest. Because the longer we stay, the more noise meter goes up. I really wish we had a third team member to loot and someone to hold the gate. I'm not going to stay for ages though, because eventually we will cause more issues than we solve. Okay. Keep. Slow zombies aren't so bad. But it's going to get to a point where it's not worth us staying. Okay. Right, we're on wave 6. Let's just try and get as much crafting components as we can. So I think we're going to bug out soon enough as is. So let's quickly run over here. Switch out your weapon. Like reload. You're getting a good amount of the components. Okay, yeah, now it's starting to become two-man, like a two-shooting. Yeah. Okay, we may have to start to think about having to pull out. Because it's starting to become a bit too problematic. Let's go. We've got some supplies, we've got some crafting material. Our aggro has gone up, but fortunately we did manage to get out in a fairly good state. Got some experience. Day 2. Okay. Proceed. Team establishes a camp. Okay, we can't do anything besides leveling up. Okay, so what do we get? Faster looting is good. Precision. Getting a higher hunger bar is very good as well early on. Getting that. One thing I will say, there is no way to see what your characters have here, so once you pick them up, you can't see your stats. This is one thing I would say the developers need to fix. They need to fix how you can access your character information. Because once you've done this, like this, the skill dex is only visible here. It's not visible anywhere else. So once you've finished doing stuff, it's gone. It's also really easy to click off by accident, so it'd be nice that you automatically went to your next skill point if you had one. Speed is good. Okay, and now we're done. See, like, once you're here, there's no way of seeing character info, which I'm a bit frustrated with. It would be so easy just to have a button, press it, and like say, yeah, see character info. I think they really need to implement it, to be honest. Okay. Crafting costs or legendary components. Probably legendary components because of how hard they are to come by. Crafting cost is fine. Okay, let's see what options we have. Save the engineer, search tool truck. No, save the engineer, mate. Like, straight up recruiting an engineer. We've got a little bit of food, so feed and recruit. Like, I don't know if he comes with anything, but having an engineer is massive. Like, they're a really powerful class. So let's proceed. Okay, as you check the team's location, the following possibilities are represented before you. To which would you choose? All kinds of materials and components can be found here. A small gun store, many types of ammunition can be found here. We're okay for ammo, but having some more would be good. We might even be able to find a better gun or something. Actually, no, to be honest, I'm going to say this now. I don't think we find guns in this game. You just have to craft better ones. So if you want better weapons, the electronic shop is probably where we want to go. We get more ammo, but electronic shop is basically where we can get all our crafting stuff. This and ammunition materials. There's 9 ammunition plus 100 additional materials and components. Barricade the windows. Stealthy. That costs food. That will buy us some time, but it costs us materials. Let's buy ourselves some time. Watch out, Commander. One of these civilians is infected and can transform when he's exposed. I recommend you do blood tests with the medic. Also, that computer may have critical data. Okay. But the engineer doesn't have anything besides a toolkit. So he needs to basically do a lot of the heavy lifting. Okay. We need to basically... They're going to come from this road by the looks of it. So we need to find the exit. Engineer, get on that and get a turret being built. You're going to get that door open. Because they're going to come from here. It seems dangerous to go outside. Better find an alternative escape route. Okay. So the turret is up and online. We're crafting materials. Okay, let's just... Okay, maybe the man can use the environment to... Okay, it looks like there's zombies in this room. Or maybe in... Okay. Okay, the turret's buying us some time. Just construct some materials, loot. Okay. You're going to help him get this up. That's the exit. Ooh. Okay, get down here and help him loot. Okay, let's try and grab some more components. Okay, that's up and about, which will buy us some extra time. The hallway ends in darkness. By pressing spacebar, you can turn pause button on and off. Yeah. That should be if anything particularly nasty turns up. Okay. Let's just try and get as much stuff as we possibly can, and then we're going to evac. We've got a turret giving us basic protection for the time being. Let's aggressively just grab as many supplies as we can. Okay, I don't want to hang around too long though. But they will stock up on supplies. Okay, that's done. We have a lot of components. We've got a little bit of time before the next wave comes. You guys get your guns out. Yeah, we don't want to stay too long. No, let's just boogie. Let's just boogie. I mean, I don't know how we get Ridley out. This says like, oh yeah, you have to save him. But it's like, he doesn't move to the exit. Like, if you can hover over him. I don't know if we had control of him or something. Maybe that was my mistake. Right. Hunger goes up. So, request resupply. Can't get any more soldiers. Let's get a level up for troops. Morale is fine, but let's go speed. And let's go... He doesn't need hunger. Being just better at looting would be good. Health is fine. Hunger. You guys, I should say, your guys die really easy in this. Like, you will have very little. Like, you take a couple of hits from a zombie and you're dead. So having high accuracy would be good. Crit chance. Yeah, let's grab crit chance. More crit chance. Building speed, power, okay, so it's another thing going up, yeah. Hunger, lockpicking, yeah. So he's our specialist. Being able to build something would be good. Hunger penalty sucks, but additional aggro is not worth it. Let's search apartments. And get our hunger up. And then you can do another tactical deployment. Close shop. Not many resources here, but it's less dangerous to have to take to exit and pharmacy. Okay. But this is how Welcome Back Commander works. You've seen the basic nature of the game. My personal view of it is it has a lot of potential, it just needs more polishing. The ability to see your character stats is really important, especially in any kind of squad-based game. The ability to upgrade them without having it to be a use of resources, which is basically what it is important. You should be able to find, I believe you should be able to not just find weapons in the world. Sorry, I believe you should not just be able to craft weapons, but also find them in the world to give it a bit more like search for resources edge. Because as it stands, like, oh, okay, I just go out and I find components and I take those components and I make resources out of them. There's a lack of like investment. I'd like to be able to name the characters as well. Excuse me a second. I'd like to be able to name the characters as well. Especially because it can give it has a bit more feeling. It'd be nice to have more character information. Like have a character sheet for each one. Like you can open it up and you see the stats, you see the character name. A bit like XCOM. That would be nice. But this has been Welcome Back, Commander, and I shall see you all again next time. Goodbye, folks.